Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. So today we are going to discuss another very important topic, directions test. So this topic is commonly important for any competitive examination. Okay, so the weightage, it can be 1 to 3 questions, I can say. Okay, depending upon the examination, the weightage is going to be 1 to 3 questions. Okay, so in this chapter, all questions, that means mainly questions, are going to be based on direction. So what are the standard directions we have in general? Let me explain you in a clear way. So we have 4 main directions are there. So 4 main directions. Okay, so these 4 main directions we have to call like, so this direction we have to take east, and this direction we have to take north direction, and this we have to take west, and this we have to take south. So these are the standard directions on the paper, otherwise on the board. So to solve the questions, depending upon the geographical location, directions are going to be changed, but for examination point of view, okay, so otherwise for pictorial representation of any graphs also, okay, these are standard directions we have to follow. Okay, so east direction, north direction, west, and south direction, and along with these four more sub directions are there, subordinate directions are there. Okay, those subordinate directions I will draw in this way. Okay, and among these 4 directions also, east to north, west, and south, among these 4 directions, north is a pole. Okay, north pole and south pole, these are the 2 poles to our planet earth. Okay, right, so as these are poles, now subordinate directions names also must start with, okay, so pole names starting poles names first. Okay, it means, so the line in between north and west, we have to call northwest, but not west north. Remember, the line between north and west we have to call like northwest, but not west north. Why? The naming convention start with the pole name. Okay, right, now let us see this line. So as this line is in between west direction and the south direction, so the naming convention, it should be southwest. The name should be southwest, it cannot be west south. Why? The name has to start with pole name first. Okay, now let us see another line here. Okay, as this line is in between south and east, we have to call southeast, but it is not, okay, east south, right? So now next one, another line. So as this line is in between, okay, north and east, so we have to call this direction northeast, but not east north. Okay, so just simply remember. Now let us see, for example, okay, so from this point, if you are moving, okay, so in the clockwise direction, so from this point to this point, can I say 45 degrees? This is 45 degrees. Okay, so imagine that this line is dividing this quadrant into exactly half. Okay, so 45, and up to here 90 degrees, from here to here 90 degrees, from here to here it is 135 degrees, and from this starting point to this starting point it is 180 degrees. Okay, so from this starting point to up to here it is 225 degrees, and from the starting point to up to here it is 270 degrees, from the starting point to here 315 degrees, and from the starting point to up to here it is 360 degrees. So in this way we have to take in the clockwise direction. So the same condition is applicable in the anti-clockwise direction also. Okay, so up to here it is 45 degrees, and up to here it is 90 degrees. Okay, and up to here it is 135 degrees, and up to here it is 180 degrees in the anti-clockwise direction, and up to here it is 225 degrees, and up to here it is 270 degrees, and up to here it is, so it is 315 degrees in the anti-clockwise direction, and up to here it is 360 degrees. So this angle rotation also we have to remember, okay, because while solving the question, rotation based questions are going to be given. Okay, so like this, one person started from his house and covered a distance, okay, like 8 meters or 8 kilometers in the east direction, and after that he turned towards, okay, so he covered, okay, so 90 degrees in the anti-clockwise direction, otherwise 180 degrees in the anti-clockwise direction. Like these questions are going to be given, so that is why we have to remember this. Okay, so rotation also anti-clockwise direction and clockwise direction rotation also along with the angle. Okay, right. So now let us see what are the different types of questions we have in general. Okay, but before going to see the types of question, what we have to remember is that we have to remember each and every line out of these 8 lines. Okay, so what are the standard direction? 4 standard directions are there. Okay, so what are those? East, north, south and west. Along with these 4, okay, 4 more subordinate directions are there. Okay, so what is this line indicates? Northeast. This line indicates northwest. This line indicates southwest. This line indicates southeast. See, these lines we have to remember randomly also. It means, so for example, if we want to write, okay, northeast line, so instantaneously we must be able to draw that line. For example, okay, so one person started, okay, his journey towards east direction, then so towards east means a line towards right hand side direction we have to draw. Okay, so for example, one person started from his house towards north direction. Towards north direction means towards upward direction. Okay, so towards southwest means, okay, towards left hand side direction with somewhat slope, okay, in the downward direction. Okay, so south, so this is southwest. For example, if a person started his journey towards northeast means, okay, so that means this line we must be able to remember all these 8 different lines individually. Okay, independently we must be able to draw. Okay, so then only we can solve the question, because questions in the chapter completely based upon, okay, drawing the diagram. Okay, so that is why all these 8 different lines we have to remember. Now let me explain you one point. For example, one person started from his house and he covers certain distance, maybe let us suppose 10 meters or 10 kilometers in the east direction, and after that he took a right turn. A person who is moving in the east direction took a right turn. Okay, now a person who is moving in the east direction, for him what is the right turn? Simply, in order to decide a right direction and a left direction, imagine yourself in place of that particular person. You are moving in this path and you are facing towards this way, okay, east direction. Now your right hand side is nothing but downward direction, okay, and your left hand side is nothing but upward direction. Just imagine yourself in place of that person at the last point. If you are standing here and facing towards the east direction, what is your right hand side? Okay, downward direction is nothing but your right hand side and upward direction is nothing but your left hand side. Okay, now for example, if a person is moving in the north direction, okay, let us suppose a person is moving in the north direction, so what is the right turn and what is the left turn for this person? How we can decide that? Just imagine yourself at the last place. Now you are standing here and you are facing towards the upward direction, north. Now what is your right hand side? This is your right hand side and this is your left hand side. Simply, in order to get left hand side and right hand side, imagine yourself at the last place, then you will get right hand side and the left hand side very easily. No need to worry about that. Okay, now let me take one more condition. Let us suppose one person is moving in the northeast direction. Northeast direction means towards upward direction with somewhat slope. Okay, so a person is moving in the northeast direction. Now what is the right hand side direction for this person? just imagine in place of that person at the last point. And if you are standing here, what is your right hand side and what is your left hand side are nothing but the right hand side and left hand side for that particular person. So nothing but if you are standing here and facing towards northeast, obviously this is nothing but your right, yes, and this is nothing but your left or not, yes. Similarly, for example, if a person is moving in the southwest direction, now I want to decide what is his right hand side direction and what is his left hand side direction. Now if I am standing here facing towards southwest direction, my right hand side is nothing but this one, my left hand side is nothing but this one. Okay, so thing is that you have to imagine yourself at the last point to decide that particular person right hand side and left hand side, and you have to imagine, so you have to imagine in the same direction as that of the person who is facing in that particular direction. In the same direction you have to imagine your direction also, then you will get right hand side and left hand side very easily. So now let us see, we are going to see different types of questions. That means how many different types of questions they are going to ask you. Okay, so those different types of questions we are going to see now. So here two types of questions are so most commonly asked questions in direction test. So one is that to find out the direction. Okay, so direction related question. Next one is distance related question. So there are shadow based condition related questions also. That means morning or evening related questions and coding type questions also there. But first of all, I'm going to explain you. So direction related questions, and then distance related question. Let us see how to answer direction related question. So let me take one simple example. Let us suppose that one person started from his house. So this is the house, and he covers 9 kilometers in the east direction. After covering 9 kilometers, he takes a right turn. Okay, he took a right turn. Now a person who is moving in the east direction, for him what is the right hand side? What we have to do to find out the direction of that particular person? At the last point we have to imagine ourselves facing in the east direction. East direction means here always towards this right hand side. Now for this person, so right turn is nothing but towards downward direction or not. Now so towards downward direction I have taken a so turn, and imagine that that person covers 5 kilometers. Okay, that person covers 5 kilometers. Okay, now so after covering 5 kilometers here, again he takes a right turn. Now the person who is moving in the south direction, for him what would be the right turn? Obviously towards west direction. This would be right turn, and after taking a right turn he covers 5 kilometers again, 5 kilometers, and finally he reaches maybe his school, otherwise any one particular point. Okay, so this is the house and this is the school. So sometimes we have to fill this point as starting point and this point as ending point also. Okay, so a person started from his house and he covered 9 kilometers towards the east direction, and after that he took a right turn, and after taking a right turn he covers 5 degrees and 5 kilometers, and after covering 5 kilometers again he took a right turn and covers 5 kilometers. Finally he stops here. Okay, so here our question is that so how they are going to give you questions related to directions. Okay, now let me explain you this point. The questions are going to be given in this way. What is the direction of starting point with respect to the end point. So question is going to be given like this: what is the direction of the starting point with respect to the end point? So here you need to remember this keyword. Okay, what is this keyword? With respect to. So sometimes they may give you with respect to, sometimes they may give you from, sometimes they may give you to also. What does it mean? In place of with respect to, sometimes they can give you from also, sometimes they can give you to also. What does it mean? So they are going to give you a question in this way. What is the direction of the starting point from the end point? From the end point. Otherwise, what is the direction of the starting point to the end point? So here from can be given, otherwise to also can be given. Okay, matters nothing, right? In order to answer this question, after these keywords, whatever the point they give you, let us suppose whatever the point they mention after these keywords, like second point, and whatever the keywords they give you before this, let us suppose those are, okay, so first points. Okay, after these keywords, whatever the point they mention, that we need to consider like second point, and whatever the point, okay, that means starting point now, this starting point here, this ending point. Okay, so after the keyword, whatever the point they mention, that point we need to take like second point, and before these keywords, whatever the point they mention, that point we have to take like first point. Okay, now in order to answer this question, we have to draw a straight line from the second point towards the first point. Okay, whenever you see keywords like with respect to, from, or to, okay, these type of keywords are there, then what we have to do, from the second point you have to draw a straight line towards the first point in the diagram. Okay, now what is the second point here? End point. Now from end point to the starting point, we have to draw one straight line. Okay, so what is the direction of this straight line? This straight line is like this. Okay, just imagine the standard directions. Okay, see, this line is in between north and west direction. What does it mean? This line indicates northwest. So that is why I told you to remember the directions directly. A line which is drawn in this way, it should be northwest. Okay, so once try to recall the basic diagram what we have drawn for the direction. Okay, now answer for this question is northwest. Okay, so in this way we can find out direction. Okay, now let us see another way of asking the question. Okay, so here the question is that now what is the direction of the end point with respect to the starting point? Okay, now see, after these keywords with respect to, from, or to, after these keywords, what is the point? Starting point is given in the question. So this point we have to take like second point, and before these keywords, whatever the point they give you, that point we have to take like, okay, point number 1. In order to find out the direction, otherwise answer for this direction related question, what we have to do in general, from the second point towards the first point we have to draw a line. Okay, now here what is the second point? Starting point. Starting point means this point, and towards which point we have to draw? Okay, so first point. What is the first point here in the question? The end point. So starting point to the end point we have drawn one line. What is this line is indicating? Okay, a line which is drawn towards right hand side downward direction is nothing but southeast in general. Okay, imagine the standard direction. Okay, so this is the line we got now here. Yes, okay, so this is nothing but southeast. So these directions we must remember in our mind so that we can answer the question within less time. Okay, so answer for this question is southeast. Okay, and another way of asking the question is there. Okay, one more type is there. Total 3 types are there. Okay, so total 2 types are there. Okay, so second type is that they'll ask you in this way. Okay, in which direction the person is moving? Otherwise, what is the direction of the person? Okay, in this way if they ask you question, okay, in this way if they ask you question, let me explain you how to answer this question. So they are going to ask you question in this way. What is the direction of the person? Simply, okay, what is the direction of the person? Otherwise, he is in which direction now? Okay, so likewise they are going to ask you question. So in the previous model, we have seen some keywords like with respect to, from, and to. But here we are not able to find out those keywords with respect to, from, and to, na? Right? Whenever they give you keywords with respect to, from, and to, then what we have to do? From the second point towards the first point, we have to draw a straight line, and whatever that straight line is indicating according to the standard direction, that direction will be our answer. Okay, but here when you are not able to see any keywords, then what we have to do, how to find out the direction of that particular question is that last journey direction. Okay, so it means the person in which he traveled lastly is nothing but the answer for this question. In which direction he made his journey lastly? Towards which direction? Towards west direction. Lastly he made his journey towards west. It means answer for this question is west. Okay, whenever they give you questions related to direction with keywords, means from second point to the first point we have to draw the straight line. According to that straight line we have to take the answer. But if you are not able to see any keyword like with respect to, from, and to, then what we have to do? Last journey direction of that particular problem, otherwise of that particular person, okay, is nothing but simply answer for this question. Okay, so I hope you are clear with this. Okay, so direction related question. Now let us see how to find out the answer, otherwise how to solve distance related questions. Let us consider one example. So to discuss distance related question, let us suppose that one person started from his house, otherwise maybe from the starting point. Okay, so one person started his journey towards east direction. He covered 2 kilometers. Let us suppose that this is 2 kilometers. After covering 2 kilometers, he took a right turn. And after taking a right turn, he covers 25 kilometers. Now the person is moving in the south direction. Okay, after covering 25 kilometers, he took a left turn and covered 15 kilometers. After covering 15 kilometers, he again took a left turn again. Okay, so now this person is moving in the east direction. He took a left turn, so he has to, okay, so move in the north direction towards upward direction. So after taking left turn, he covers 18 kilometers. After covering 18 kilometers, he took a right turn. Okay, as the person is moving in the north direction, right turn is nothing but east direction. Okay, and by taking right turn, he covers 7 degrees, and here he stops. That means this is the end point. This is the starting point and this is the last point. Now what we are asked to find out here, how far is now, okay, how far he is now from the starting point. Now remember the keywords. How far, otherwise distance between. Whenever they ask you how far, otherwise distance between, if you see these type of keywords, you have to find out the shortest distance between the given points. So what are the given points? Starting point, okay, and he, how far he. So he means the last point we have to represent like the person, otherwise so he or she or it, okay, whatever it may be. So the person who is doing that journey, okay, we have to consider that person as the last person, because he stops at the last point now. That is why the end point, otherwise the last point also can be considered like that person himself. Okay, now we need to find out the distance between he, that means the end point, and okay, so from the starting point, in between these 2 points we need to find out the distance. As the keyword how far and distance, okay, so if it is given, then draw a straight line, because we need to find out the shortest distance now. So how we can find out the shortest distance? Simply by drawing a straight line between the given 2 points. So after drawing this straight line, if this straight line is having some slope, means then you have to frame the right angle triangle. Remember, after drawing this straight line, by observing these keywords, okay, you have to draw a straight line between the given 2 points. So if this straight line is having a slope, means you have to frame the right angle triangle by any means. Now let me explain you how we can take a right angle triangle. Now see, I can extend this line here and I can join like this. Now, so this is a right angle triangle or not? Okay, this is a right angle triangle. Now see, so we don't know this complete base, and we don't know, okay, so this side we don't know, and this base also we don't know, and I can say this is hypotenuse or not for this right angle triangle. Let us suppose this is A, this is B, and this is C. Now ABC is a right angle triangle or not? Yes, but we don't know AB total, okay, total value, and BC total value, so we need to find out hypotenuse value. Okay, so before going to find out hypotenuse value, first of all we have to decide what is AB value total. Okay, so complete AB value, and what is BC value we have to find out. Now let us see this line, very same na? Okay, now let us see, so this complete line from here to here it is 25. Now from here to here it is 18. That means these two lines are very similar na? It means if it is 18 means this is also must be 18 from here to here. This is 18, this is 18. Out of 25 up to here, if it is 18 means what should be this distance? Definitely 7 na? In order to satisfy 25, right? So this line and this line both are same or not? Yes. So what is that? 7. We got base as 7. Now let us come to this side. See, up to here it is 2. Okay, up to here it is 2 kilometers, but we need to find out this part. Now see, okay, so this line very similar na? Very similar. Okay, so what is here? It is 15. So if it is 15 means here also it should be 15 from here to here. Okay, now this line and this line both are very same. Okay, so as it is 7, here also it should be 7. Now what is this total value? Okay, so this is 2. Okay, this is 2 from here to here. 2 plus 15 plus 7, it is nothing but 17 plus 7 is nothing but 24. This is 24. The side is 24 and the base is 7. Now we have to find out hypotenuse. For right angle triangle we know one side and one base, we need to find out hypotenuse value. So we can apply Pythagoras rule. What is Pythagoras rule? Okay, so according to ABC, let us take hypotenuse square equal to side square plus side square. One side is AB square, another side is BC square. So if you want to find out AC value, then just take the square root of AB square plus BC square. So what is AB value here? AB value is nothing but 24 square. What is BC value here? 7 square. Okay, now let us see what is 24 square. So it is 576. What is 7 square value? 49. What is the total of 576 plus 49? 625. What does it mean? Square root of 25 is nothing but 25. So 625 is nothing but 25. It means AC value is 25 kilometer. So in this way we have to find out, okay, so the distance between the starting point and the ending point. So whenever they give you how far, otherwise distance between. Okay, first of all you have to draw the straight line between those 2 points. If slope is there for that particular line, then frame the right angle triangle, otherwise no need to frame. Okay, if slope is there, then only you have to frame the right angle triangle, otherwise we no need to frame the right angle triangle. So after framing the, okay, after finding that slope for that particular line, so draw a right angle triangle, try to frame a right angle triangle, then apply Pythagoras rule. Okay, try to find out hypotenuse value by applying Pythagoras rule. Okay, so what is that rule? So hypotenuse equal to square root of side square plus side square, otherwise hypotenuse square equal to side square plus side square. By applying that, okay, so rule, we can find out the answer. Okay, so one more thing is there. So if this line is not having any slope means directly you can take the, okay, so distance between those 2 points. For example, here we have one point. Let us suppose this is point P and this is point Q and this is point R. Now I want to find out. So the distance between P and Q. Let us suppose I need to find out the distance between P and Q. In the question they have given like this. So how far is point Q from point P? Like this they have given. Maybe how far, otherwise distance between any keyword is given. What we have to do? We have to draw a straight line between these 2 points. Now see, in between P and Q we have one line. For that line, do we have any slope? No slope. Slope is not there. If there is no slope means direct distance we have to find out. No need to frame the right angle triangle. Whenever that particular line is having slope, then only frame the right angle triangle. Otherwise, so if it is a simply straight line means just take the distance between those 2 points. Okay, just by looking at the diagram. So what is this one? This line, both are same, na? Okay. What is this? It is 2. Okay, and already we know this R to Q is 15. Now what is the total, what is the distance between P and Q? 2 plus 15, it means 17 is the, okay, so answer. In this way we have to find out. Okay, so here I try to explain you, okay, so how to find out direction related question and how to find out distance related question. Okay, so one more model is there based on distance related question. So I'm going to explain you so that distance related question, how to answer that distance related question in the next class. Okay, so thank you for watching. Okay, so if you like my video, please like, share, comment. If you have any doubt, you can comment. And if you are watching my video, okay, my channel for the first time means please subscribe my channel. Thank you.